Nikola's got no products. That's always, by the way, a suboptimal way to run a business. Why would you speculate in a Chinese electric vehicle play or a hydrogen fuel play or any other play, a super speculative American one with no sales, when you can just own Tesla? Especially now that Tesla's pulling back from its highs. I think it's time to stop overthinking the story and go with best of breed. Remember, it's a tech company. Why go with 7 birds in the bush when you got one in the hand?
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, I'm sharing a few clips of Jim Cramer, who recently shared his thoughts on CNBS about all the other Teslas, the Chinese Tesla, the hydrogen Tesla, etc. Let's see what Jim had to say, and I'll add a few comments where I think it's relevant. Hey guys, if you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, check out the links in the description to WeBull and Stake. Let's get back to it.
Based on the action in the market over the last few months, you'd think the electric vehicle business was booming right now, even though the stocks have cooled down over the past couple of days. Well, it's not right. You see, there's a boom in Tesla. There's a bull market in Tesla. There's a lot of money being made in Tesla. This has been a fabulous time to own Elon Musk's electric car company, with a stock that's run from the mid-300s in March to 1,487 as of today. That's a monster 324% gain. How's your index fund doing? Now, I am very glad I started recommending this one aggressively last November. And you know what? I can get rid of the omelet stupid shirt that my wife used to wear before I realized that Tesla was going much higher. But beyond Tesla, I think the rest of the electric vehicle space looks like a boom and then more like a bubble. One that's already started to burst. We keep seeing more and more of them come public, often via reverse mergers, special purpose acquisition vehicles as the SPACs, and after some big moves higher, their stocks have started to implode, and many of you want to try to catch these falling knives. Don't! People are hoping to find the next Tesla of trucks, the next Chinese Tesla, the next Tesla of salami. I don't know, whatever they're doing.
I just want to chime in here and share my perspective. Given this YouTube channel has grown to a reasonable size and I read all of the comments, I get a ton of the same questions over and over and over. I see recurring themes and notice patterns. The most common question, the most common request that I'm getting these days is, what's the next Tesla? What do you think of NIO? What do you think of Nikola? What do you think of Hyliion, etc., etc., etc.? Everyone seems to be trying to chase the next Tesla as if Tesla's growth done. They've missed the opportunity. It's over. I've missed out. Now look, I don't want to be rude, but I also don't care if you get butthurt when I say this. The kind of people that are asking these questions right now are the same kind of people that 5-10 years ago were looking for the next Amazon or the next Apple. Guys, you don't need to find the next one. The one is already here. You're going to look like a fool in 5 or 10 years when you're still chasing after the next Tesla, and then Tesla's gone on 5x, 10x from where it is today, aren't you?
In fact, some of these electric vehicle plays are a little more than a business plan, not even a full-blown business, let alone a good business. The bull market in Tesla, it's real and it's spectacular. The bull market in the rest of the electric vehicle plays feels way less substantial. And once again, I'm warning you to stay away, no matter how awesome it seems. So tonight I want to go over the EV plays, the other ones, the ones that everyone's so crazy about because they're the next Teslas, especially because we seem to get a new one every day. They are awfully hard to keep track of. First, there's Nikola. That's that highly promotional, to say the least.
That was pretty funny from Jim there. Pretty savage, a little bit low-key, but yeah, basically translation, all talk, no walk.
First, there's Nikola. That's that highly promotional, to say the least, fuel cell play with an electric trucking kicker, and they come on TV a lot, and the guy's a nice guy. Even before they come public via merger with one of these SPACs, I warned you away from this one. Every few years, speculators crowd into the hydrogen fuel cell names, then the stocks implode, and the technology never seems to go anywhere. With Nikola, I warned you that the stock would spike right out of the gate and then plummet. That's what happened. When we learned that Nikola was merging with a SPAC called Vecto IQ way back in March, the bubble hadn't started yet, and the broader stock market was still collapsing in response to the pandemic. But as we got closer to the merger in early June, Vecto IQ stock took off. It went from $13 at the end of April to nearly $29 at the end of May. At the beginning of June, I warned you that this thing would spike after the deal closed. At the time, it was trading just under $34. And you had to sell it into the spike because there's no way it would last. Within a few days, Nikola's stock nearly tripled to an intraday high of $9 $94 before closing at just under $80. Oh my God, that is one of those horrible pirouettes that all the chartists would tell you means it's the end. And this one has been indeed free fall downhill from here. Last month, the stock lost 55% of its value and is currently trading at just under 39. I'm not hearing anything that makes me feel like that Nikola is anything other than Ricola, like the cough drop.
Regular viewers of the channel will already know my thoughts about Nikola. Again, just to reiterate, red flags for days. I cannot fathom how a company that is literally at this point just an idea is worth anywhere close to its current valuation. It's insane. I'm not saying that you can't make money on this stock, that they can't succeed over the long term, but you have to admit, it is patently absurd that Nikola is valued at about $15 billion today as I record this, which is about half of what Tesla was valued at just over a year ago on more than $20 billion of annual revenue, okay? What the actual fuck?
How did I see this coming? Okay, I figured the hype would give you one big move higher, but beyond the hype, there wasn't much there other than the people who were going to hector me endlessly in my Twitter feed because I made that Ricola joke. Nikola's got no products. That's always, by the way, a suboptimal way to run a business. They're working on an electric truck for next year, but the real plan is a hydrogen fuel cell powered truck for 2023. In other words, most of the value here is in the idea, the concept. And that simply can't justify a $25 billion valuation, where Nikola was not long ago. Really, it was at $25 billion, or even a $14 billion valuation where it is right now. Ideas per share, well, it's still not a spectacular metric. As crazy as this market is, it's still not buying ideas per share. In some ways, Nikola's stock was a victim of its own success. The big rally meant that a whole lot of warrants were becoming more valuable. 24 million warrants that let their owners buy the stock at $11.50. Those warrants became exercisable a couple weeks ago, and Nikola also registered 53 million shares owned by their private investors, meaning the stock market got flooded with new supply. Thanks for nothing. Now the company just reported tonight, and the stock got hammered in after-hours trading. I don't know what people expected. They don't have any products to sell yet, so why could they have any concrete orders? You know, let me think about that for a second. I mean, orders that look, they have orders, but they're not building big factories like in China and Berlin and stuff like that.
Speaking of Nikola's Q2 earnings, they did actually report some revenue. However, 100% of that revenue was associated with the installation of solar panels for its executive chairman and founder, Trevor Milton.
Next up, there's NIO, the Chinese Tesla. This thing came public in September of 2018, and the stock spiked early last year after a rosy segment on 60 Minutes, nonetheless, before coming back to earth when we got multiple reports of battery fires across China that led to a massive earnings shortfall. At its lows earlier this year, NIO was trading at $2. But as Tesla exploded higher over the last few weeks, NIO caught fire too, metaphorically only. The stock surged to 16 at its highs last month. It's pulled back to 13 and change today. It's still up dramatically. I think Goldman Sachs tells the tale perfectly here. They upgraded NIO from neutral to buy in early June when it was trading at 4. They downgraded it to neutral at 6, then slapped a sell on the stock after it broke out into the teens. I think they're going to be dead right. I'm very skeptical of NIO. First, they've got negative gross margins, what they make after the cost of goods sold. In other words, they're a long way from profitability, unlike Tesla, which has reported 4 straight profitable quarters. Second, NIO's not really the Chinese Tesla. The Chinese Tesla is Tesla, which has a major factory in Shanghai, and they're already selling a lot more cars than NIO.
Cramer nailed it there. The Chinese Tesla is Tesla. And just regarding the NIO stock price, he's also right on that front. I'll put a chart up on screen comparing the NIO and Tesla stock prices this year. You guys can see NIO has tracked Tesla's stock price. This does not make sense, okay? News relating to NIO and trading activity around NIO should be completely independent of what Tesla has achieved with deliveries, quarterly results, etc. Why is it that NIO's stock price is so closely tracking Tesla's stock price despite them being completely independent companies doing their own thing? Spoiler alert. Because people who are emotional, not thinking logically and reasonably, but emotionally feel hurt, feel disappointed, upset, like they missed out on all the growth opportunity in Tesla. So they're throwing their money somewhere else in the hope that they'll get whatever they missed out over here, in a totally different company, totally different CEO, totally different technology. You get the point, right? And to be clear, NIO could do fantastically well. My point is simply this. Just because Tesla is succeeding, Tesla stock is finally being recognized, the analysts are waking the up. Everyone's realizing and discovering the dominant position that Tesla's been in that's been obvious to others for much longer. That should have no impact on NIO's stock price or Nikola's stock or any other stock in any other industry at all. It does not matter. What's happening to Tesla is what's happening to Tesla. This is really important.
We got another Chinese electric vehicle IPO last week, Li Auto. They make a premium smart electric SUV, and they say they're the first to successfully commercialize extended range electric vehicles in China. But the company only started producing its first model in any meaningful volume last November. They sold a total of 10,400 units. Total. Stock came public at $11.50 here in America, spiked to 16, which is about where it stayed. Even if Li Auto is totally legit, something I bet Trump's chief trade advisor Peter Navarro would dispute. The problem is that the market's being glutted with electric vehicle stocks. By the end of the year, we're going to have another Chinese IPO, Xpeng, which is Li Auto's direct competitor. These speculative bull markets tend to run out of juice when there's too much supply because their stocks lose their scarcity value. I was skeptical of Chinese IPOs even before the trade war. But now, just Google Luckin Coffee, please. And it's not just IPOs. You've also got the Nikola imitators. And the Nikola imitators are everywhere. They're merging with special purpose acquisition companies. There's Tortoise Acquisition. Everybody loves that one, which is buying Hyliion, a company that's developed powertrains for hybrid electric trucks. Tortoise spiked from 10 to 35 right after the deal was announced, although it's now pulled back to 20. Extremely speculative. Spartan Energy Acquisition is merging with an electric vehicle play called Fisker that's working on an electric SUV. Maybe it'll be a hit, but again, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. Yesterday, we heard that Diamond Peak Holdings is merging with Lordstown Motors, saw them on TV, which is a 9-month-old company that took over GM's old Chevy Cruze plant in Lordstown, Ohio. They're working on an electric pickup truck. The founder, Steve Burns, previously ran an electric vehicle play, Workhorse, which owns 10% of Lordstown Motors. I wish them all the best of luck with other people's money.
Cramer's getting a bit savage there. I like it.
Hey, speaking of Workhorse, which is another wild trader it's the Robin Hood crowd. This one's been public for a while, but its stock exploded higher over the past few months, surging from $2 and change to $22.90 at its highs, though it's pulled back to $17 today. They're working on a couple electric delivery vans, potentially for the post office. Again, maybe it works. But if the hope is a contract with the embattled U.S. Postal Service, I'd say that's a thin reed, which in this market sometimes feels like a sequoia. There are many more of these. There are too many to mention, and a lot of them are too small to mention. But I felt like this is what everybody wants to talk about. So I said, okay, let me just sum them up and give them to you, and let me give you the bottom line. And this is the most important point. Why would you speculate in a Chinese electric vehicle play or a hydrogen fuel play or any other play, a super speculative American one with no sales, when you can just own Tesla? Especially now that Tesla's pulling back from its highs. I think it's time to stop overthinking the story and go with best of breed. Remember, it's a tech company. Why go with 7 birds in the bush when you got one in the hand?
I am in absolute agreement with Cramer. Geez, I don't say that very often, but I do. I agree completely. Tesla has proven, they've executed, they've trodden the precarious path to get to where they're at now, and they're in an incredibly dominant position. Why are people chasing after these opportunities that still have to execute and prove themselves and tread this precarious path? It's really high risk for them to get from where they are now to anywhere other than bankruptcy. These are the facts. It's not easy to start these companies. They're not led by Elon Musk. They don't have the same engineers, the same culture. They don't have the same technology yet. I admit these companies could do very, very well, and I'm not saying don't invest in XYZ company, but you just have to admit it's an extremely speculative at best investment, more like a gamble. The road ahead is very, very difficult. It's not going to be easy for these guys to actually succeed. So keep that in mind. Again, nothing wrong with investing in these companies, but boy oh boy, I wouldn't want to be doing so chasing the gains that I thought that I'd missed out on with Tesla. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all.
And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake.
Stop overthinking the electric vehicle plays, please. You got this guy, Elon Musk. He's really smart. He's created a tech company. The tech company's name is Tesla.
Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.